I'm your host, BrightLearn, and today I've got something truly special for you. We're going to unpack an incredible conversation between two influential figures, Mike Adams and Doc Pete Chambers, as they discuss faith, resilience, and the challenges facing America in these turbulent times. Now, if you're not familiar with Doc Pete Chambers, let me give you a quick introduction. He's the founder of the Remnant Ministry of Texas, a man who has dedicated his life to helping others, especially in disaster zones, and spreading a message of faith, liberty, and freedom. He's a true American hero, and his insights are nothing short of profound. First off, let's talk about Doc Pete's mission. This man isn't just sitting around waiting for the world to collapse. He's building something. His remnant ministry isn't your typical Sunday sermon setup. Nope. This is apostolic work, taking faith on the road, into disaster zones, counter human trafficking ops, and even cartel territory. And here's the kicker. They're doing it without turning into just another militarized vigilante group. Instead, they're using biblical conflict resolution, tough love, forgiveness, and real spiritual warfare. Now let's get into the border crisis, because what Doc Pete revealed is chilling. Under Biden's open border policies, cartels were raking in $400 million a month just from human trafficking in the Rio Grande Valley alone. That's insane. But here's the twist. Since Trump's policies started rolling out, crossings have plummeted, like 99% down. Why? Because suddenly, there are consequences. No more free rides, no more NGO-funded credit cards. Yep, that was real. And now, illegal migrants are self-deporting. Trucks full of suitcases, headed south. But here's where it gets dark. Doc Pete dropped a bombshell. American kids are being kidnapped and shipped overseas, in container cars. He's seen intel suggesting they're being trafficked to Africa, likely for organ harvesting. And why U.S. kids? Because traffickers believe they're healthier than third-world children. Let that sink in. Meanwhile, the cartels aren't just sitting idle. With their cash flow drying up, they're pivoting. Hard. Drive-by kidnappings in Houston, now the #1 city for them, underground cells waiting to activate, and potential attacks on U.S. infrastructure. Doc Pete warns, if the feds start bombing cartels in Mexico, expect blowback, IEDs on Texas roads, murdered ranchers, and chaos. But here's the real question. How do you fight evil without becoming evil? Doc Pete's answer? Faith, not fury. He's seen it work, even with cartel members. Instead of just kicking down doors, his team uses kingdom mindset tactics, winning hearts through love, not just force, and it's working. In one Mexican border town, cartel members are leaving because of their outreach. Now let's talk spiritual warfare. Doc Pete doesn't just see this as a physical battle, it's a war for souls. The left's violent rhetoric, calls to kill Trump, beat Ted Cruz, the satanic influences in pop culture, the demand side of trafficking and drugs, it's all rooted in a culture that's turned from God. And the solution? A revolution of the heart. So what's next? Doc Pete's team is scaling up. Pin churches, mobile worship in crisis zones, prayer networks, and on-the-ground rescues. They're prepping for whatever comes, whether it's another border surge or domestic terror cells activating, and they're doing it with zero bloat. Every dollar goes to fuel, food, and missions, not admin costs. Final thought? America's at a precipice. We're seeing the collapse of trust in institutions, the rise of domestic terror, and a spiritual vacuum being filled by pure evil. But here's the hope. Men like Doc Pete aren't waiting for someone else to fix it. They're in the dirt, fighting, with faith, with courage, and with love. So what can you do? Stay aware, stay prepared, and most importantly, Stay rooted in truth. Because the battle ahead isn't just for borders, it's for the soul of this nation. That's it for today. Stay sharp, stay bold, and as always, keep seeking the light.
This has been a BrightLearn.ai summary of an interview between Pete Chambers and Mike Adams on March 26, 2025. The full interview is available at brighteon.com, where you can also find podcasts and special reports by Mike Adams and other creators. Visit naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage of this interview and breaking news on critical stories that will keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.